Hi everyone, Canoopsy here. Behind me is the most fun piece of tech I've used all year so far. This is the Hellion 500 by Ukiyo66, a brand new Canadian electric bike company. They sent me an early unit of one of their bikes to really test out and detail my experience using this as my daily vehicle for the last week or so. And, well, I love this thing. So first, the design. The bike itself is kinda beautiful in my opinion, in this sort of rugged classic off-road bike kind of way. It's got these huge 4-inch thick Kenda tires, which can roll over pretty much any terrain, grip the ground, and absorb a lot of the bumps and inconsistency of whatever roads you might encounter. These wheels are great in the city, off-road, they're pretty crazy. There's also fenders above the front and back tires, and also near the tires is this incredibly solid kickstand, which keeps the bike propped up, no problem. The seat up top is quite comfortable and large, and can probably fit up to 2 people honestly, but I'm not 100% sure what the max weight for this bike is, so I never really tried that out, and plus, I don't have a second person. I rode this thing pretty much all day during one of my early days of testing, and it was comfortable the entire time. Whether I was pedaling or riding with just the assist modes, super comfortable. The aluminum alloy frame itself has this kind of diamond-shaped cutout in the middle, and is painted a dark black. I definitely wish this bike came in multiple colors, but since the company's in its early days, we can probably expect more colors and customization in the future. As you might guess, I definitely want a yellow one. There's also a nice rear taillight and an incredibly bright and adjustable front LED spotlight, which is one of the brightest lights I think I've ever seen. We also have a display up top of the handlebars that shows battery life, how many kilometers total you've ridden on this bike, as well as what modes you're in, wattage, all that kind of stuff. And you adjust the modes on this display with the button control system on the left side. On the right side is the 7-speed Shimano thumb shifter and the electric throttle trigger. And this moves us into the ride experience with this bike, and it's pretty wonderful. So the bike can pretty much do 3 things. It works as a standard bike with no power, which I'll talk about that experience in a bit. Then it works as a pedal-assisted bike, meaning when you pedal, the bike provides a bit of a boost in speed, as well as alleviate some of the work you have to put in while pedaling. Essentially, you just gotta move the pedals, the bike really helps you out. This mode works great throughout the city, as well as going up mid to slightly steeper hills. As you increase the speed modes from eco to standard to power, the bike helps you out with pedaling and increases your speed even more. And one of the most exciting features, in my opinion, is the full electric throttle, made possible with the 500-watt rear hub motor. So basically, you just push down the trigger and the bike does everything. It just goes, no pedaling. It pretty much turns the bike into an electric motorcycle, with no license needed. It goes up to 32 kilometers an hour at top speed, and even faster if you toss in some pedaling. And you can also unlock an even faster speed in the settings for off-road riding. But 32 kilometers an hour is the top speed for street legal e-bikes here in Ontario. The brakes are also very responsive for both standard pedaling and full throttle. Even going crazy fast speeds throughout the city, I always felt safe riding this bike around. Basically, the ride experience is amazing. It's smooth, it's absolutely exhilarating, and whether you just need a bit of pedal assistance or want to go full-on stretches with the electric throttle on, you're gonna love the ride experience on this bike. Throughout the streets of Toronto, it's a joy. On trails, rough roads, no problem. I also got the boys together for a quick time trial off-road test. We whipped this thing at top speed around corners with small jumps over obstacles, and this thing is built like a tank. Now the battery on this bike is pretty large, but it does last 42 kilometers of mixed use riding. That all depends on your speed of course, terrain, whether you use pedal assist or full electric throttle, it all definitely varies. But the way I use the bike for my personal usage, it lasts a full day. Getting around the city, short commutes, getting essential items, going out for exercise, but I live in a city where things are all very, very close, so that does vary person to person. But still, 42 kilometers of battery-assisted electric riding is pretty incredible. Even under 42 kilometers is still quite a bit. Now maybe you've been out all day and the battery dies on your way home. Well, you can actually use the bike as a regular bike, and it's both doable and a solid experience. You gotta put in a little bit more work than you might have to on a standard bike, but I'd compare the ride experience without battery power to a city bike share bike that you might find in sort of big cities like Toronto or New York or London. When it comes time to charge, you plug in this large AC adapter and it takes about 5 to 6 hours from my testing for a full charge. You can also remove the battery to swap it out or charge it away from the bike itself, or keep it locked to the bike with the frame with the included keys. Okay, so if you couldn't tell, I absolutely love this thing. It looks awesome, it rides like a dream, it's fun, but also very practical. You can go long distances, use it as your main commuter vehicle, and on the weekends, whip it around and go on trails. It's, like I said, the most fun piece of tech I've used in quite a while. And I don't really have anything negative to say. The design, of course, is subjective, and it is quite a big bike, so you will need to have some space where you're going to store it. And even the price at just under $2,000 Canadian is certainly not cheap, but cheaper if not on par with similar pedal assist or full throttle e-bikes. But there are a few things to note with the company itself. First, they are actually a startup. They're launching officially in mid-June, and they're accepting pre-orders right now. The biggest weakness though is it's Ontario, Canada only for shipments at this point. So it kinda sucks if you're outside of Ontario. I know a lot of you watching this video are definitely not within Ontario, Canada, that's for sure. I see big things for this company. If Ukiyo66 can meet the demand, which I'm sure they'll have, and also keep the bikes at this price point, they're gonna take over. If you're interested in Ukiyo66, I'll leave a link in the description down below to check out their Instagram and their website and check out the bikes themselves. I think it's a great product, it's tons of fun, but I want to hear your thoughts on this bike or just e-bikes in general in the comments down below. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe, and thank you for watching.
That was hard.